When a woman decides that she doesn't want to be with you anymore, it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what she says you did. It doesn't matter how she feels. All of that goes out of the window when she decides that with you is no longer where she wants to be. Now, you have a lot of men who do a lot of things. There are a lot of women who end up losing their lives. There are a lot of women who end up, having to deal with a lifelong stalker and several other things when they decide they don't want to be with a man anymore. But the worst case scenario is when a man publicly blubbers and cries and begs and whines and acts as if this woman leaving him is the end of his life. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, the reality of the scenario is this, man. I understand dudes fall in love with bras, man. I get that. You fall in love with a bra, man, and you feel like she love you the same, man. And this is the thing. If she sleeps with somebody else or does any of the things that guys do to run women off, then you'll keep her. You may be mad. You may have to scuffle with her, but you gonna keep her. You know in your heart that you in love with that woman and you ain't gonna drop her like that. That's how beta male simp manginas love women. They fall in love with them. They love the woman, not for the woman, not for what she brings to the equation and the benefits she brings to his life. Now, somebody sent me a video on IG, man, of this guy, man. He's a little bit older guy, man. He just looks like, man, being in love has given him a really hard life, man. And when you hear this guy blubbering and crying and doing all of this, yeah, it's funny at first. Then it's pitiful. And lastly, it's absolutely disgusting. So I want y'all to take a look at this video, man, and then we'll come back and chop it up.
Oh, God. Why she keep doing me like this, Lord? I want to make it right. I didn't even do nothing. Oh, some clothes. She can have them clothes. I want my wife, man. I can't do shit without her. Come on, man. Baby, please don't do me like this. Come on, please. Please don't do me like this. I'm sick of it, too. I want to be right with you. I can't do this without you. I can't do this. Please don't do this to me. I can't even do shit right here. And you know that, man. Why are you doing me like this, man? Everything I do is a fucking problem, G. And I'm sitting here telling you I don't have nobody, man. I'm going through a lot too, G. All I know is you. And you really trying to hurt my heart, G.
Now, what do you see here? You see a man who is putting on a display, a public display, hoping that the woman comes back to him. Or even worse than that, this was a one-on-one conversation that the woman was recording, and she shared it publicly to further humiliate a man who is already humiliating himself. And in these situations, guys don't even care. They hope that they could get some sympathy from the public, so someone would miraculously tell the woman, God says you should go back to him. Man, when a woman don't want you, bruh, she don't want you. Whether she don't want you in the beginning when you try to talk to her, or she don't want you afterwards because you finally wore her down and dated her enough and chased her enough for her to give you a shot. This is how scenarios end when you chase a woman and you finally get the woman that don't want you. She never wants you. And all it takes is for you to do this one thing or commit this one act, or for her just simply to get tired of you and realize that now it's time to leave that simp and move on to a pimp. It's time to leave that lame and move on to a man who know how to play the game. It's time to leave Mr. Softy and get a man that's stronger than black coffee. You are not the man she wants. And you knew it before she left. I talked to too many young men who are in a position where emotionally they are going to rely on that woman if they get her. They need some emotional relief. They need to make an emotional connection. And you have these idiots telling those young guys that they should chase women. You can't tell a young man who hasn't mastered his emotions to go chase a woman. Because when he finally chases her and wears her down, like you guys do, then he's going to have a woman who never wanted him in the first place. You 30, 40 years old, and you're going to tell a 20-year-old boy to pursue women the way you do? When you know all the heartbreak and all the disappointments and all the being treated like a scrub that you had to go through in order to get to that point. Because you want him to end up like this guy. You want him to end up in a situation where he doesn't know how to look at himself in the mirror and say, I'm the prize, because he's never been the prize. He's always treated women like the prize. You want him to put on a public display, an embarrassing public display of emotional loyalty to a woman who doesn't want him anymore, who never had any emotional loyalty to him. You want him to be heartbroken. Because what we see here is a man who dove too deep emotionally. And now when the woman breaks that emotional tie, the man has nothing left to love himself with. Self-love is stealth love. It's health love. It's wealth love. Nothing you want to accomplish in life will come to pass if you don't practice self-love on a daily basis, whether you have a woman or not. This man is in a situation where he believes his world is ending. This is how men end up committing suicide. 10 men a day commit suicide in America following a breakup/divorce. Doesn't he sound like he may be one of those men? In all honesty, would we be surprised to find out that he's one of those men? Of course we wouldn't. Because everything about this says that he is emotionally distraught because a woman left him. Why are you gonna do me like this? Please don't do me like this. Don't do you like what? Don't rip your heart out of your chest because you fell in love? Man, I don't care who the woman is. I don't care what you think she is. You better not be stupid enough to fall in love. Loving a woman is a wonderful thing. Falling in love with a woman is terrible, homies. And if you get a woman that you understand didn't want you at first, you're always going to be more emotionally attached to her than she is to you. And not all of you men are going to be players. Whole lot of you men, the very next woman you get, you're going to be in love with her. The majority of you men are going to have some type of emotional attachment to whatever woman you end up with. So stop trying to let these guys convince you that you're a player. Stop trying to let these guys convince you that you're a Mac. Stop trying to let these guys convince you that you're a dating connoisseur. Because all you are is a man that's in an emotional space where any woman who comes into your life, you're going to need to love her. And guess what? You're going to need her to love you back. That's why I tell you to focus on a woman's content of character. A woman's beauty will never cause her to love you. Her content of character might. A woman's education will never cause her to love you. A woman's morality might. Too many guys want to try to use information to get women. That's only used successfully if you have mastered your ability to be emotionally unattached. If you're 20, 21, 22, 23, unless you were raised by some cold, hard, gutter playboys, bona fide pimps, you haven't mastered that yet. So what you had better be doing is going about your life, getting to your money, building yourself in the best version of yourself so you can love yourself the way you need to. And only worry about women who show you attraction confirmation. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to end up just like this guy. You don't have to listen to me. But if you don't listen to me, 5 years from now, we'll see you on IG. Baby, oh, don't do this to me, baby. I'll go through stuff too, baby. It ain't like nothing I do ain't right, baby. Listen to all the things this guy said. The woman was already letting him know that anything he did wasn't going to work. She didn't want him to do nothing. She didn't want him no more. Here's a grown man crying because some woman said, nothing you do is going to work. Everything, you complain about everything he does. And he feels like he should beg her back. It's a travesty to see a man who's been mistreated by a woman, dogged out by a woman, treated like a scrub by a woman, treated worse than a dirty dog by a woman. And he's sitting up, crying, publicly, begging that woman back. Oh, baby, please come back. Give me some more of that treatment, baby. Come back. It don't matter to me. Whatever I got to do, baby, come back. Oh, it don't matter. I ain't got to do nothing right. You can kick me in the butt. You can kick me in the tail. You can kick me while I'm down. I don't care. As long as it's your foot that kicking me, baby. That's the type of thing we're hearing from this guy. And I know that sounds funny, man, but this ain't no humorous thing I'm telling you right here. That's what you just heard. Don't act like it's funny because I'm saying it. You just heard him say it. And it's a shame that there are men out here who want to live this way. There's a shame that there are men out here who want this to be in their lives. It's a shame that there are men out here who think they can't do any better than this treatment from a woman. And you know why? It's because you spent 5, 10, 15, 20 years with a woman who never wanted you in the first place. So you spend your whole life giving everything that you got and giving things that you ain't even got, promising things that you ain't even got yet, because you want to try to make this woman like you. If you got to make a woman like you in the beginning, fool, you're going to spend the whole rest of your life making that woman like you. And guess what's going to happen? She ain't gonna never like you. Because if a woman don't like you, she don't like you. You can't suddenly become this guy that she likes. You can become a guy that she accepts. You can become a guy that she sees more benefit from than she's willing to leave. You can become a beta male simp mangina do boy, a simp provider. But you'll never become the man that she likes. The man that she likes, she's communicated with him in private. And you don't even know it. But on the next video, I'm going to hip you to where you can find the information about the other man that she really, really likes. But as far as this one goes, I want you men to keep in mind, and I promise you this, if you have to chase the woman, she eventually just settles for you. And you never want to be the man that a woman settles for, because there's always another man that she would rather be with. And if the opportunity to be with that man comes, they're going to be having something going on that you'll never know about, because she doesn't want you. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.